When was the last time you started something without thinking twice? A normal hour, a normal day. The screen is open, the file is open. Everything is ready. It's not a big project, just something small that needs to be started. But the start doesn't come. Not because you're tired, not because you gave up, not because something broke inside you. You just wait, as if something small is supposed to happen first. And that's strange, because before, you didn't wait. You would sit down and start, even without motivation, even without the right mood. Today, that same moment feels different. Your hand is close to the keyboard, but the first action doesn't come out. And here's the truly confusing part. From the outside, everything looks fine. You have time, a task, zero drama, and yet a quiet question appears. What's wrong with me? And in this video, I want to show you why that's the wrong question and what really changed in the moment when starting stopped feeling natural.
Before we begin, if you value quiet, thoughtful content like this, subscribing helps this channel grow and makes it possible to keep creating videos without noise or hype. Thank you for being here. Now, let's begin.
It didn't start like this. A year ago, maybe two. It was only with things that weren't urgent. Something you wanted to start, but told yourself later. A side project, a book, a small idea. No drama, no giving up, just a reasonable delay. But then it started to spread. It began happening even with things you actually cared about. A workout you skipped. Not because you didn't want to, it just didn't happen. A call you said you'd make. It's already 11 at night. You didn't call. At work, a task that wasn't urgent, but was important. A week passed, then another, and then it reached places you didn't expect. The guitar you bought, sitting in the corner for 4 months now. Your Duolingo streak, 47 days in a row, broken. Not because you got bored, you just didn't open it. The task list, 12 items, none of them on fire, none of them happening. And the most confusing part, you're not giving up. You still want to, you still intend to, you still tell yourself this matters. But the start just doesn't come. And here's the moment that starts to bother you. You ask yourself, what happened to me? Why am I not as sharp as I used to be? Where did my discipline go? But before you answer yourself, there's one thing you need to know. It didn't start with you. Up to now, we described the moment. We didn't try to understand it. And now we can say this quietly. What you're experiencing didn't start with you. It started with an environment that changed much faster than the human system had time to adapt. And it didn't happen in one day. It happened through small moments that looked completely ordinary. You open your phone for a second, not because you were looking for something, just because there was an empty moment. And when you open it, something is already there. A video, a headline, a post. Not something you asked for, something that feels right now. You scroll, one more, and another. And when you lift your head, 10 minutes have passed, and you're not really sure how. Not because you chose to stay, not because you decided to, simply because there was no clear reason to leave. And when it works, it feels comfortable. Everything flows, everything is smooth, there's no friction. But here, something quiet happens, because your brain isn't built to start from comfort. It's built to start when there's a gap. Do you remember how it used to be? You're at home, you're bored, no phone in your hand, nothing to watch. You'd get up, do something. Not because you decided to, because there was a gap. Something wasn't full, and you filled it. Today, you're bored for a second, and the phone is already in your hand. The gap closes before you even feel it. And when no gap is created, there's nothing that pushes a beginning. And this is where the systems around you enter, not as robots, not as science fiction, just things that learned one thing very well. Not what you'll want tomorrow, but what will hold you right now. And when prediction works well, desire no longer needs to form. It gets replaced, not by laziness, not by lack of discipline, by the absence of a gap. And this explodes in the most sensitive place, when you need to start something that has no prediction. You're sitting in front of the computer, you have an idea, you want to, but the file is empty. No title, no structure, no next button. No one tells you where to begin, just you and the emptiness. And suddenly it feels heavy, not scary, not big, just unnatural. And the most confusing part is that you interpret this as a personal failure. I used to be able to do this, something in me wore down. Maybe I'm just not as good. But that's a framing error, because what changed isn't you, it's the conditions from which starting is born today.
If this feels familiar so far, not as information, but as something you've been dealing with, we keep a growing collection of prompts, tools, and simple frameworks designed to help you think more clearly, start more easily, and work better in this environment. We add to it over time. Nothing overwhelming, just practical resources you can return to when you need them. A lot of people see AI creations online today and think to themselves, "Looks amazing, but it's not for me. I don't have the talent for this. It must be complicated." But the truth? Most of what you're about to see didn't start with talent. It started with curiosity. One sentence, one experiment, and then another.
The visuals you're seeing right now were created from prompts people shared online. No secrets, no genius tricks. Someone wrote an idea, someone else changed a word, added a line, and tried again. That's how this works. Most people creating beautiful things with AI had no idea what they were doing at first. Not the first time, not the second. They simply dared to press generate and see what would happen. And this is the most important thing to understand. AI isn't looking for talent, it's looking for curiosity.
If something is holding you back, it's not a lack of knowledge, it's the fear of trying. But here, there's nothing to lose. No grades, no judgment, just a small experiment that might surprise you.
Creative prompts are everywhere today. On YouTube, in communities, shared by people documenting their journey. You don't need to invent everything from scratch. You can take an idea, change a word, and see where it leads. Every visual you saw here could have turned out completely different with one small change. And that's the magic.
If this video made you want to try, that's already a win. Not perfect, not smart, just curious. In the link in the description, you'll find the prompts behind these visuals, plus more free materials to help you take the first step, without noise, without pressure. And if you feel like continuing this journey with us, we're here, a small, faceless channel, learning and moving forward together.
Just click the link, enter your email, and the system will send everything to you automatically. No pressure, no commitment, no noise. Let's keep going. And this is the point where something truly changes, but not in a dramatic way. Not because starting suddenly becomes easier, and not because you found a solution, but because you stop interpreting this moment as a personal failure. Because until now, when the start didn't happen, the automatic response was, something is wrong with me. I'm not focused enough. I used to be sharper. Now, something shifts. Not in action, in understanding. You begin to see that this moment isn't asking for more strength. It's asking for less blame. Because when you blame yourself, you try to push. And when you push, resistance only grows. But when you recognize that this is a moment created by different conditions in a world that works differently, your relationship to it changes. You don't rush to fix it. You don't try to be disciplined. You simply notice, oh, this is that moment. The moment where there's no clear signal to start. The moment where no one prepared the first step for you. The moment where there is no next button. And the moment you recognize it, something settles. Not because starting is easier, but because it stops being accusatory. And that is a deep shift. This is where the action begins. So the next time you're sitting in front of a beginning and the action doesn't come, don't ask, "What's wrong with me?" Ask, "What's missing here?" Not, "Why can't I do this?" but what is the smallest first step? And then do something simple, almost strange. Instead of waiting for something to align inside, start from the outside in. Not, "I'll wait until I have the energy," but "I'll write one sentence, just one." Not, "I'll wait until I feel ready," but "I'll open the file." Just open it. Because a human beginning was never born from efficiency. It wasn't born from what's already prepared. It was born from a moment that's slightly uncomfortable, slightly unclear, slightly open. And that moment, you don't wait for it to arrive, you create it. And when you do this, once and then again, no miracle happens. There's no victory feeling, no "I'm back." There's something quieter, a reminder that you are capable of starting even when no one started for you. And this isn't a method, not a technique. It's just a way to remember that the world has changed, but your ability to begin didn't go anywhere. It was only waiting for you to stop blaming yourself for the fact that it doesn't arrive automatically anymore. If something from all of this stayed with you, not as a clever sentence, but as a small feeling that's hard to explain, that's a good sign, because it means you recognized the moment. The moment when starting no longer happens the way it used to. But here, one uncomfortable question appears. If the world around you predicts before you feel, what actually remains yours? Not a tool, not discipline, not a technical advantage. Something else, quieter and rarely talked about. An ability that doesn't disappear in a single day, but slowly fades when no one is paying attention. And in the next episode, we look at what happens when that ability begins to fade. Not to fight, not to save, just to understand what happens to you when it's no longer there. If this video made you pause for a second, the continuation is already waiting.
Want more game-changing AI tools like this? Hit follow, tag a friend, and drop the word "tools" in the comments. I'll send you the full list straight to your DMs. Keep pressing pause to grow smarter. See you in the next one.